I'm starting in REMAX, Italy, and then I'm heading to Switzerland after a 3-day stay here. And then I'm going to be attending the REMAX convention for Europe in Vienna. And that's a 2.5-day event there next week. Then I'll go to Bratislava and then end up in Prague. Well, we did. We just sold the master franchise rights for the mainland China and also included in that deal Hong Kong and Macau. And it's part of our Asia expansion in 2012 and 2013. In the beginning of the year, we opened up REMAX Thailand and REMAX Philippines. And so we've been aggressively looking at expanding our network now into China. Of course, it's the most populous country in the world and now the second leading economy after the United States. And it's going to continue to boom over the next several decades. And we really believe that the time has been very perfect for us to go into China now because of the decline in the real estate market there over the last couple of years, which I can talk about more in a minute. But it's a really perfect time because of a lot of the competitors have been weakened over the last several years. And for us, it's a great opportunity to enter the market now. Right now, the market in mainland China is very, very soft. The government has really put the clamps on investment. There's no external investment in real estate into the mainland China. And the government has also cut out a lot of the investment or second home purchases that the Chinese were taking advantage of over the last couple of years. And so what we see now is an awful lot of outflow of capital and buying real estate around the world. Right now, the Chinese are buying an awful lot of real estate in North America. That's their #1 goal right now is in North America. But they're also buying all over the world, looking for great opportunities, both commercial and residential. Well, every country around the world has different levels of success. REMAX Italia is absolutely one of our very, very best regions around the world with over 180 offices and 1,200 sales associates. But we're successful all throughout North America, Mexico, Canada. We're successful in Colombia and Brazil, South Africa, Israel, Turkey, Portugal. And we have great operations now just starting in Thailand and Philippines, like I said earlier. Well, I do believe it's a great time to buy. Everywhere around the world, prices are at the lowest point that they've been in, sometimes in decades. And I really believe that most places around the world have already hit bottom or maybe even surpassed bottom or starting back up. And America is really a good example, for instance. We hit bottom probably sometime early in the year. And now we have an awful lot of buying, mostly from foreign investment now, buying and looking at the U.S. as great investment opportunities because people start seeing the opportunity and the prices going back up again. And so every country is kind of taking their turn, being at the bottom and starting to build back up again. Europe is probably behind the rest of the world as a collective continent. They were kind of early in on something, like Western Europe was very early in on the recession, but Central Eastern Europe came very, very late into the recession, and they're still in the process of hitting bottom and recovering. But I do believe that the opportunities are now better than they have ever been. I believe the bottom has already been reached in Europe and in Italy specifically. And I think that people will start recognizing that prices will start going up as transaction volume begins to start climbing again over the next several months. And I do believe now is a really good time to start looking at buying your first home or a move-up home. Well, I'll give you an example of Miami, for instance. Miami set transaction records last year. And most of that is from foreign investment, mostly from South America and Europe. And so we see that around the U.S. an awful lot, that certain marketplaces have gotten very, very hot and maybe even overheated. We're now seeing multiple offers. For instance, the first day of listing goes on the market. And we haven't seen that for probably 4 or 5 years. And so, again, the activity has really, really grown. What we haven't seen yet is price appreciation. And that's going to come as our inventory continues to shrink. And so, again, I see that happening literally all around the world now, marketplace to marketplace, where they're starting to see rebounds. Well, I think the election has a lot to do with it. People tend to, when they see uncertainty and really unsure of what the next steps are going to be in an economy or in the politics, like right now as we're 2 months before the election, a lot of people are just sitting on the sidelines. We do know in America there's an awful lot of money waiting to be spent or waiting to be invested. And I think once the election is done, we'll see a renewed amount of buying activity again, especially from the commercial side, as people are just kind of settling in and waiting for the politics to be finished. We do have kind of a sawtooth recovery in America. And again, I think that's the same around the world. If you think of a sawtooth as up and down, up and down. And so one day or 1 week, the economy or the markets go up, and then some shock or some report brings the markets back down again, and then it recovers again. And so we're kind of in that very, Dave Liniger, our chairman, calls it bumping along the bottom. And so we're still kind of doing a little bit of that, but generally the trend is upward overall, especially in America, but a lot of places around the world. A lot of brokers, a lot of real estate salespeople that are looking for a better alternative. Everybody is being hurt by the economy. There's no doubt about that. They're looking for alternatives, means and methods to be able to grow their business. And so we really believe with our offering of service and support that we can provide in our region here in Italy, that we can offer a broker or sales associate a much better way to do business and an opportunity to do more business and really leverage our brand. And so we definitely do expect to grow here in our marketplace in every city in Italy. And we will be very, very aggressive continuing to expand our network around the world. I mean, we have a desire to finish our North American operations with a few more islands and one more country in South America that we have to sell. We're going to be very aggressive in Asia. On the heels of China, we expect to go into Taiwan, South Korea, Japan, a few other countries that will help continue to bolster our network and give us more growth and more referral and sales opportunity around the world.